I guess this is kind of a follow-up to my short from a couple days ago about worrying about what's going on in the world, and especially how that relates to politics and government. I've been focused a lot on the personal promises of God as far as my individual life and what kind of things God promises his children. But today I'm looking at a more corporate promise, a global promise. In Luke chapter 1, the angel Gabriel comes to Mary to tell her that she's going to become pregnant with Jesus. And he says in verses 32 and 33, he will be great and be called Ben Elyon, the Son of the Most High. Adonai Elohim, the Lord God, will give him the throne of David, his father. He shall reign over the house of Jacob for all eternity, and his kingdom will be without end. Now Isaiah 7:14 says, behold, the maiden will conceive. When she is giving birth to a son, she will call his name Emmanuel, which means God with us. And then in Isaiah 9, verses 5 to 6, for to us a child is born, a son will be given to us, and the government will be upon his shoulder. His name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, My Father of Eternity, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and shalom there will be no end, on the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and uphold it through justice and righteousness from now until forevermore. The zeal of Adonai Tzvaot, the God of armies, will accomplish this. So this promise is actually about politics. We look at the world around us, and it's this constant cycle of rising and falling powers and battling, fighting, war, violence, argument, strife between these different factions trying to determine the best way to rule. But God promises eventually there will be a proper government founded on righteousness and goodness, and that one won't ever end. So at a certain point, we won't have to squabble about politics anymore. God is actually going to take care of that too. And I think that's such an interesting promise because so many of us are consumed with politics these days. And taking a second to just think, one of God's promises that he's going to take care of that major component of life for all of us, and we won't ever have to worry again.